So, trading tip of the week. This is for you guys that are sort of moving across or considering, you've been practicing on the demo. You may have dipped your toes in, got burnt, and jumped back out the pool again. And this transition from demo to live, it's so difficult for people to know when to do that. I actually created a challenge, not the trading challenge that everyone offers these days, although some of them are good, but just a challenge so that people can help assess themselves whether they're ready or not. Now, for me, the big question that everyone asks themselves is, when am I ready to trade live? So you've got to look at your performance, but don't kid yourself. That performance that you gain on a demo account, on a simulator, there's no consequences to that. So without those consequences, again, it's very difficult. In your mind, you feel like you're treating it for real, but you're not always treating it for real. Oh, that trade's gone against me. Oh, I haven't got time now. I'll just turn it off, and I'll have a look later. And maybe it went thousands against you. When you look, oh look, I'm $150 in profit. Oh, I'll take that. And you give yourself a little pat on the back as if you've made money. Whereas realistically, those sort of trades would blow your account before you got those profits. Not just one, but multiple times, definitely. Now, again, you need that trading plan. What's your style of trading? What's your sort of risk appetite? How are you going to manage that? What sort of capital you've got? How strong is your analysis? What trading technique skills do you have? Can you control your emotions? There's so much to trading. Yeah, everyone just thinks because they can open an account that they're a trader. And of course, what really helps these days is sort of these micro contracts for the futures and options that are available, where you can risk some of your capital, but you can really reduce the amount of capital that you do risk. Very similar to going into CFDs and trading them with really, really small size. Again, if you want any more tips on all of this, then just reach out to me. I'm always happy to help. One of the reasons I do all of this. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the technical analysis. Just a reminder of the chart legend. So, in the right hand column in the axis there, black numbers, support resistance levels are just identified usually from trend lines. Brown numbers are breakout levels. The clarity colored numbers, they are sort of horizontal levels that I've identified as where I see there's support or resistance in the market, or they're based on double or triple tops or bottoms. Don't get them confused with the pivot point ones though, so just be aware of that. And of course, there's Fibonacci. I don't think I've got any Fibonacci this week, but there's definitely pivot points on there, so just keep an eye on those. Only on the 30 minutes, obviously. Okay, so let's start with the Dow Jones. Stocks ended the week lower as investors became more nervous about the central banks, and this, this data, this inflation is still so sticky. And one thing I would like to point out is from our daily newsletters that we was putting out last week, especially on Friday, that our breakout levels worked amazingly well. And to be fair, some of the pivot points as well. So anyway, so let's look at the data for support and resistance that we've got on the Dow. So for the daily, we've got 34,538 as resistance and 34,287 with support at 32,485 and then 31,731 if it's broken is a breakout level. On the 30-minute, I've got resistance at 3,068 and support at 3,029 and 3,000. The S&P, you know, I was hoping it would really keep rallying for a bit longer because I wanted it to get back to that sort of 4,300 level, so I could buy more put options. But unfortunately, it's breaking on the downside. It's not going to get there now by the looks of it, at least for the moment. So I've got resistance at 4102 and resistance at 4023 with support at 3947, 3805 and way below 3750. But you know, who knows where these markets are going and how quick they're going to get there. On the 30-minute, I've got resistance at 3987 and support at 39.66. And if you look at that, I mean, S2 on Friday was pretty much perfect. It was on the nose. It gave us some great trades. The Nasdaq daily, I've got resistance at 12,813 and support at 11,868 and at 10,751. Again, as I always remind you, you know, you can always take screenshots of these or you can just take photos of them on your mobile, you know, especially the daily ones, because they don't really change that much unless there's something drastic happen. The dailies, yeah, they change every day, which again is why we produce the our daily newsletter, so that people can get the fresh levels every day. Okay, Nasdaq 30-minute, got resistance at 12,005 and support at 11,951. And again, if you notice that, the same as the S&P, S2 worked amazingly well on Friday. The Russell 2000 small mid caps, I've got resistance at 1985. I've got support at 1876, 1872, and I've got a breakout at 1830 should it get down there. On the 30-minute, I've got resistance at 1912 and 1895 and support at 1884, 1883 and 1857. I know two of those are really close together, but one's on a trend line, the other's where I can just see it sort of horizontally. Moving on to a couple of currencies, so pound against the dollar. So although the sort of pound started to have a little bit of a recovery after midweek, the dollar just strengthened and just pushed down regardless of what the pound was doing. So on the daily, I've got resistance at 123.41 and 121.15 with support at 117.43. On the 30-minute, I've got resistance at 120.23, 119.90. You can see that from those downtrend lines I've put in, and also at 119.54 with support at 119.06. And again, the pivots come into play here, but in a different way. It failed to hold at the pivot level itself and then dropped all the way down to test S2. Moving on to the euro. The euro really sort of struggled all of last week and ended at the week's lows, really. I've got resistance at 108.23 and support at 105.30. On the 30-minute, I've got resistance at 105.89 and 105.67 with support at 105.49. So again, you know, I'd probably expect a breakout of on that one quite quickly on Monday. Moving on to Bitcoin. I'm just keeping that breakout level on the upside there, just in case. It's sort of moving back down again now, but just leave it there. The moment I don't put it on is the moment it's going to probably try and test it. So that's at 27,375 as a breakout. And then I've got resistance at 25,350. I've got support at 23,565, 22,705, and then much lower down at 20,435 is another breakout level where it goes to sort of try and fill that gap. On the 30-minute, I've got resistance at 24,495 and 23,564 with support at 23,370. Again, that's another breakout level should it get through there. So Nasdaq, I had changed this to a 30-minute recently. I've just moved it back to a daily for this week, just so you can see how they're performing sort of longer term against each other. And it just gives you sort of a bit of a better idea how that correlation is going. Okay, so gold. Gold resistance 1928, 1857. Support at 1793 and 1749. It's sort of breaking on the downside, you can see from that. And I think that probably, when we look at the 30-minute, if you're intraday trading it, some good opportunities. So on gold, I've got resistance at 1841, at 1828, and support at 1814. And then again on Friday at S2, there was a couple of great chances to buy around there, just above the 1815 level. Again, I'm sure there's going to be some big activity in gold next week. Moving on to WTI, resistance at 82.92 and 76.62, with support at 73.75 and 73.19. It struggled. It's ranging really, oil at the moment. So just looking at the 30-minute, I've got resistance at 76.70, support at 75.85, 73.99, and 73.82. As I was saying, it just seems to be ranging. It's sort of stuck between that $72-$82 range at the moment. For me, there's sort of not so much conflicting, but there's a variety of sort of positives and negatives for oil at the moment. I trade a lot of oil and especially calendar spreads and such like strategies. But is it going to break out at some stage? Of course, but I don't see it doing it quite yet. So just going to finish off highlighting some of the services that we provide. Of course, you've watched this, so this is our YouTubes. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we provide these daily newsletters. Now, this gives you all the global news in the mornings, across the various continents, all the different asset classes. And of course, each day we add fresh daily chart levels and pivot points. Saves you the work, again, it's why we provide that. You get to focus on your trading. And then we do one-day workshops. This helps you just fill in any gaps that you might have and helps you to accelerate your trading skills, or perhaps even your understanding of the markets. And then we've got our one-day courses, which takes people from 0 to hero just 1 week, regardless of whatever level they are, even 0. We provide foundations, fundamentals in the mornings, and then of course in the afternoons we help you build those trading skills as well. It's great to sort of start there, because that gives you those foundations to build your trading career, if that's the way you want to go. And then if you're really serious about trading, then you should join our comprehensive masterclass. This is designed to provide you with all the knowledge and trading skills that you're going to need to navigate today's markets. And that is in any asset class as well. Of course, apart from that, trader mentoring. We do plenty of that for, guys at different levels. They could be novices all the way up to sort of guys that have got over 20 years experience. They might just want to learn a new asset class, or they might want to learn new different techniques for trading, or just hone up on various aspects. So always happy to do that. Consulting companies, hedging FX and commodity exposure. And then, of course, when it comes to the educational content, we provide that to individuals, exchanges and brokers, because obviously they've got customers, so they want to help them as much as possible as well. And then, if you're struggling, if you haven't got enough capital for trading, then there's the funded trading account that's available through our partners at Nordic Funder once you qualify. Now, to contact us, it's info@symaxfintech.com. If you've got any questions you'd like to direct to me around trading, then it's chris.tubby@symax-int.com. What I was going to say there was that, again, if you've got any questions you want to ask about, what course is suitable for you, or how you can improve your trading skills, something like that, then, just come directly to me, and I will help you as much as I possibly can. Okay, so anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this, and I wish you the very best of luck for next week's trading, and please be lucky. Take care. Bye for now.